Good morning, everybody on the Pro Forum. So I watched this documentary film about Las Vegas, how it came into exist, and those types of things. It was actually about something else, but they touched on Las Vegas. And I thought it was very interesting. A few things I did not know. For example, I did not know that it was a failure. That's what completely blows my mind. In this film, they talk about how, number one, it was all mob related. Bugsy Siegel was the guy who had this vision of a casino in the desert, luxury casino, the Flamingo, and he wanted to have a place where the Hollywood types, the real big money guys, would go and legally be able to gamble. And so since Nevada, gambling was legal in Nevada, he thought, what better, a place just right up the road from LA, this little desert town. So he gets with his mob buddies and they dump millions and millions of dollars into the Flamingo. It goes way over budget. Everybody's pressing everybody. They want their money. They want to show a return. And finally it comes to opening night. It rains, of all things, and many of the people who are seeing this have been to Las Vegas. And you know that that's a rare thing. It rains the night of the opening, and as a result, the opening was a complete and utter flop. Because it was such a flop, the man got zero buzz about how great the Flamingo was. In fact, it was negative. The comments were like, why would you go to the desert to gamble, and so on and so forth. I just thought it was very interesting and relatable to what we do. Oftentimes, I know I do it. I do it on a regular basis where I'll get this brilliant idea. Oh, I know, I'm going to advertise on, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. One time I remember I bought rubber stamps that allowed a rubber stamp machine. This is the biggest flop I've ever had. I just thought it was a natural. Everybody and their brother would want a rubber stamp with their face on it. I thought, like, bankers and real estate agents and, just all sorts of I thought high school seniors would think it's the coolest thing. Instead of drawing on their notebook, they could take their little rubber stamp, which had the built-in ink, didn't have to have a separate inker, and it would be their face, and you could just ka-chunk, and it would be a rubber stamp that would make your face. Failure. I mean, my goodness, it was, I don't know, seemed like it was $1,500 for this machine and a bunch of rubber stamps. I ended up throwing it in the garbage. I mean, it was that big of a failure. I made a few stamps. A few people thought it was cool. I made a ton of stamps for the studio, checkbook deposit stamps, and all sorts of, addressing stamps. I did a few real estate agents, and I made them a stamp just as a complimentary thing to try to get it going. Nobody wanted it. I don't know if anybody even used it after that. Utter failure. But Vegas wasn't utter failure. And now, like I said, many of you have been to Vegas, and it ain't no failure no more. I mean, this thing is a money-making machine. So what happened was they just stuck it out. They just kept pouring money into the thing because they all felt like it was such a great idea. They then they closed it, literally closed the hotel, did a few improvements here and there, flashied it up a little bit more, and had a second grand reopening. Well, this time the sun was shining. It was a beautiful night. People literally came from around the world to be a part of this opening night. It created this huge buzz, and the rest is history. Vegas is awesome. I mean, the guy from the time of the initial grand opening to the time they closed it, was losing something like $1.3 million a day, every day. I mean, do you know how much $1.3 million a day today is? Much less go back to the, what was it, I believe the 1940s? That's how much money was being just thrown out and lost with the Flamingo Hotel. That's how big of a failure it was. And yet sometimes we as professional photographers, I think we just don't stick it out. I think we come up with a brilliant idea, and you know, I have found personally that it takes 3 to 5 years for an idea to either be an utter failure or a complete awesome success. You know, so I guess what I'm saying, I guess the whole message of the day is just don't give up. If you've come up with this brilliant idea, I'm going to do senior pictures underwater, is one of them. That took 3 to 5 years before it became a thing. I remember way back in the day. Do you remember, what was it, XP1 film, which was a black and white film that developed in color chemistry. It brought black and white, in my opinion, it brought black and white to a whole world of professional photographers that did color. Because you didn't have to, you could just send it off to the regular lab and get it processed. It was easy. It was an easy process. You could just simply tell the lab, print it, and you would get, you know, on color paper, but it looked black and white. It was fabulous. So you do start doing black and white. I remember it was about 3 years before seniors were willing to pay extra for black and white. But after a while, buddy, it was a big deal to have some black and white images. And it was a reason they came to me. And the list of things like this goes on and on and on. So if you've come up with a brilliant idea, if you feel like this is awesome and it ain't working, don't give up. That's the message of the day. Don't give up. Hang in there. Currently, one of the things I think about is this whole drone thing. I mean, as professional photographers, there are ways to make money with this. It's a great supplement. I think it's a great way of getting your foot in the door in the commercial world or into the video world, and to get things right now that you would never have gotten if you didn't have the capability of putting a camera in the air. But is it making money to the point where I could live off of just drones? Nope. But it might one day. So that's it. Thank y'all very much for being on the Pro Forum. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.